NASCAR's hottest teams under the spotlight as rivals demand answers about JGR and 23XI racing. The 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season has reached a fascinating turning point. What started as an impressive winning streak for Denny Hamlin has now turned into one of the biggest stories in the garage. While Hamlin continues to dominate on the racetrack, questions are growing behind the scenes about the incredible speed and consistency shown by both Gibbs Racing, JGR, and 23XI racing. No official accusations have been made. No penalties have been issued. Yet many competitors believe NASCAR should take a closer look at what has become the most successful partnership in the sport this season. Denny Hamlin makes history at Pocono. Denny Hamlin's victory at Pocono Raceway was special for many reasons. The veteran driver captured his third consecutive NASCAR Cup Series victory, winning at Nashville, Michigan, and Pocono in back-to-back-to-back weekends. For a driver who has spent more than 2 decades competing full-time in NASCAR's top division, it was the first time he had ever achieved such a streak. The victory also marked Hamlin's 8th career win at Pocono Raceway, extending his record as the most successful driver in the track's history. Driving the number 11 Toyota for Gibbs Racing, Hamlin managed fuel perfectly during a tense final stage and crossed the finish line ahead of Reddick by 1.678 seconds. The win carried even greater significance statistically. It was the 64th victory of Hamlin's Cup Series career, moving him into sole possession of 9th place on NASCAR's all-time wins list. After post-race inspection, NASCAR officials found no issues with the car. The victory was officially confirmed. The championship battle tightens. Beyond the historic achievement, Hamlin's victory dramatically changed the championship picture. Reddick entered Pocono with a comfortable points lead, but after finishing second, his advantage shrank to just 19 points over Hamlin. With only 10 races remaining before the playoff field is finalized, momentum has clearly shifted. Reddick openly admitted his frustration after the race. While a second-place finish would normally be considered a successful day, it felt disappointing because Hamlin was once again standing in victory lane. The battle between the two Toyota stars is quickly becoming one of the defining storylines of the season. Growing questions inside the garage. As Hamlin celebrated another victory, a different conversation was taking place away from the cameras. According to multiple industry reports, several drivers and team officials have privately approached NASCAR and requested more detailed inspections of cars from Gibbs Racing and 23XI racing. Importantly, nobody is publicly accusing either organization of breaking the rules. Instead, competitors are asking NASCAR to conduct deeper examinations to ensure complete transparency and remove any doubts about the source of their performance advantage. The concern isn't tied to a single race. It's the remarkable consistency shown by both organizations throughout the season. Reddick's incredible start raised eyebrows. Long before Hamlin's winning streak began, Reddick was already turning heads. The 23XI racing driver won 4 of the first 6 races of the season and established himself as an early championship favorite. One of his most impressive victories came at Darlington Raceway, where his team overcame multiple setbacks, including an alternator problem, a battery replacement, and the loss of his cooling system. Despite those challenges, Reddick still found a way to win. At the time, many observers credited excellent teamwork, Toyota's strong overall package, and Reddick's growing confidence. Former Cup Series champion Kevin Harvick praised the team's speed and consistency, noting that fast cars and confident drivers are difficult to beat. Most competitors accepted those explanations. Then Hamlin started winning. And winning. And winning again. Toyota's dominance becomes impossible to ignore. The bigger picture reveals why some teams are becoming concerned. Toyota teams have won 10 of the first 16 races of the 2026 season. Gibbs Racing alone has accounted for 5 victories. When one manufacturer dominates at that level, rival organizations naturally begin searching for answers. Every crew chief wants more speed. Every engineer wants a competitive advantage. And when one group consistently finds more performance than everyone else, competitors begin studying every detail. That is exactly what appears to be happening throughout the NASCAR garage. The unique JGR and 23XI connection. One reason for the increased attention is the close relationship between Gibbs Racing and 23XI racing. The connection goes beyond a traditional manufacturer partnership. Denny Hamlin drives for JGR while also serving as co-owner of 23XI Racing alongside NBA legend Michael Jordan. The two organizations share a technical alliance that includes support, information, and equipment resources. Such partnerships are common throughout NASCAR. However, some competitors believe the relationship between JGR and 23XI is stronger and more integrated than most other alliances in the sport. As both organizations continue producing race-winning cars nearly every weekend, rivals are paying close attention. Former champions reportedly want expanded inspections. Reports indicate that two former NASCAR Cup Series champions have been among the strongest voices encouraging NASCAR to take a deeper look. Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski have reportedly pushed for more extensive inspections and detailed examinations of components used by both organizations. It is important to understand what this means. Neither driver has accused JGR or 23XI Racing of cheating. Instead, they reportedly want NASCAR to thoroughly inspect the cars to ensure complete confidence in the inspection process. From a competitive standpoint, their position is understandable. The playoffs are approaching quickly, and every point matters. Any team watching a rival dominate week after week would naturally want reassurance that everything is being done within the rules. Bubba Wallace's silence draws attention. Another interesting element of the story involves Bubba Wallace. The 23XI racing driver is known throughout NASCAR as one of the sport's most outspoken personalities. Yet throughout this controversy, Wallace has remained unusually quiet. That silence has not gone unnoticed. Several people inside the garage have reportedly pointed out that Wallace typically shares his opinions on major NASCAR topics. His decision to stay out of this discussion has become a talking point in itself. No conclusions have been drawn, but many observers have noticed the difference. JGR and 23XI firmly reject the speculation. Both organizations have strongly pushed back against any suggestion of wrongdoing. Their response is straightforward. NASCAR inspects every car. The inspections continue to come back clean. Their teams have repeatedly passed those inspections throughout the season. For them, the results speak for themselves. Hamlin also dismissed the speculation following his Pocono victory. He credited the team's preparation, execution, and communication. According to Hamlin, the reason for their success is simple. They consistently bring fast race cars to the track. His confidence reflects a driver who believes completely in the people around him. A personal journey behind Hamlin's success. What makes Hamlin's season even more remarkable is the personal adversity he has faced. After falling short in last year's championship battle, he briefly considered whether he wanted to continue racing beyond his current contract. Then tragedy struck when his father passed away in a house fire during the off-season. Many wondered how the emotional loss would affect him. Instead, Hamlin has responded with perhaps the strongest stretch of racing in his entire career. His current contract runs through 2027, which he has described as his planned final season. However, after 3 consecutive victories, retirement discussions have become much more complicated. Winning has a way of changing future plans. NASCAR's official position. For now, NASCAR remains calm and measured. The sanctioning body has not announced any formal investigation. No penalties have been issued. No evidence of rule violations has been presented publicly. Officials have simply reiterated that every organization is subject to the same inspection process and that additional reviews can be conducted whenever necessary. At this moment, Hamlin's victories remain official. The records stand. The points count. And the championship battle continues. The playoff race adds more pressure. While attention remains focused on Hamlin and Reddick, several other drivers are fighting desperately for playoff positions. Shane Van Gisbergen sits just inside the cutoff line. Brad Keselowski remains close behind. Eric Jones and Austin Cindric are also battling for every available point. Meanwhile, Joey Logano currently finds himself outside the projected playoff field. With so much at stake, every organization is paying close attention to any team showing exceptional speed. The pressure will only increase as the regular season moves toward its conclusion. What happens next? The coming weeks could determine how this story is remembered. If NASCAR continues inspecting JGR and 23XI cars and finds nothing unusual, their supporters will point to those results as proof that their success is entirely legitimate. If officials choose to increase scrutiny, Competitors who requested additional inspections will feel their concerns have been addressed. Either way, the spotlight is not leaving these organizations anytime soon. As the series heads to San Diego, Sonoma, and the final stretch of the regular season, every move made by Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Gibbs Racing, and 23XI Racing will be watched closely. With 10 races remaining, a championship battle separated by only 19 points, and rival teams demanding answers, the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season has entered one of its most dramatic chapters yet. Whether the story ends with validation, controversy, or a championship celebration remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, all eyes are now firmly focused on NASCAR's most dominant teams.